Dear students, welcome to Doctor's Academy for Taxation and Accounting. If you are watching this channel for the first time, please subscribe it, and if it is useful, please forward it to the students community. In this video, let us discuss trial balance and errors. Errors occurs while preparing the books of account unintentionally, which need to be corrected. It may be reflected in the trial balance or it may not be reflected. So there are two types of errors. Errors disclosed by trial balance and errors not disclosed by trial balance. The mistakes or the errors which we can trace out, which we can identify because of the disagreement in the debit column and credit column of a trial balance is said to be errors disclosed by trial balance. But there are certain errors which will not reflect the agreement of the trial balance. Even that mistake is there, the trial balance will agree or both the column will be tally. The errors which are not disclosed by trial balances are: 1. Omission of an entry in the subsidiary book or in the journal. Suppose a transaction is completely omitted to enter in the subsidiary books or in the journal, then we may not be able to trace it from the trial balance, because the trial balance will not show any disagreement because it is completely omitted. Then a wrong entry in the subsidiary book. In the initial stage itself, the first entry itself, that is in the journal or in the subsidiary book, that entry is wrong, then we may not be able to trace it from the trial balance, so that we have to go back to the voucher and verify each voucher with the journal entry which we have made to find out or trace out such kind of a wrong entry. Similarly, a posting an item in the correct side but a wrong account. An item which is entered in the correct side so that the debit balance or credit balance is correct, but it is in the wrong account. For example, instead of writing the machinery account, it is written in the repairs account or in the asset account, because these expenses as well as asset shows the same debit balance, so that the balance will be, total will be equal in the debit column of the trial balance. Now, compensating errors. Compensating error means because of one error, another error may be compensated. For example, underposting an item in the debit side may be compensated by underposting an item in the credit side also. So simultaneously, two items is done. One is underposting an item in the debit side. At the same time, for the same value, an underposting is taken place in the credit side, which will be automatically compensated, which will not be reflected in the trial balance. Similarly, error of principles. According to the rule, the carriage as well as erection charges of a machinery to be added with the value of the machinery, but it may be included with the wages. So in the net result will not make any impact. Both show the debit balance, so that the trial balance may not be reflecting the mistake. Principle wise, it is not correct. So such mistake is said to be error of principles. So these are the major types of errors which will not be reflected by the trial balance even if we prepare. And both the side of the trial balance, that is the debit column as well as credit column, will showing the same balance. Let us see the errors which could be disclosed by the trial balance, or there will be a disagreement in the trial balance. One is an item completely omitted. An item may be completely omitted to enter into the ledger account from the subsidiary book. So its counterpart may be entered in the ledger account, so that there will be a disagreement between the debit and credit, so that the accounting equation may not be correct, so that the trial balance will show a disagreement. Then instead of posting the correct amount, a wrong amount is posted, but the other account posted correctly only. so that the trial balance will show a disagreement. Similarly, posting to wrong side of the ledger account. Instead of posting to the debit side, it is posted to the credit side. Even at that condition, the trial balance will show a disagreement. Then wrong totaling of the subsidiary book will show disagreement in the trial balance. Then an item posted twice in a ledger, instead of posting once, it is posted 2 times, so that that particular ledger will show a higher balance, so that which will lead for a disagreement in the trial balance. Then wrong addition or balancing of the ledger or books of account. When the totaling and balancing process, if it is wrongly done, if there is a mistake, so that will reflect in the trial balance. Then if some balance is not taken to the trial balance, that also will make some difference. Then balance of some account wrongly written in the wrong column of the trial balance. The previous video we have experienced such a kind of situation. Instead of writing cash in the debit column, cash balance written in the credit column. Instead of writing loan in the credit column, written in the debit column. So wrongly writing item in the debit as well as credit, which will make impact in the trial balance in the form of disagreement. And finally, so at the time of totaling of the trial balance, if not done correctly, it will show a disagreement. So these are the 2 broad type of errors which may occur by preparing the books of account. It may be reflected in the trial balance or it may not be reflected in the trial balance. Now let us see types of error on the basis of its effect in the books of account. Errors which are affecting only one account can be classified into error of posting, error of casting, errors of carry forward, and errors of omission of balance of any account in the trial balance. So these are the types of errors which will affect only one account and which will not be having the impact extended to more than one account, that is 2 or more account. But there are certain items, certain errors, that is the errors of posting in wrong account, and errors of omission and errors of principal, which may affect more than one account. So these are another type of errors based on the impact in different types of books of account. Now let us see how we can trace out or locate the errors. If we have found mistake in the trial balance or the disagreement in the trial balance, if it is easily traceable, well and good, we can rectify it, we can correct it. But if it is not so easy to locate, we have to take some step for location of error or locating of errors. So what are the major steps to be taken for locating of an error? First of all, recheck the trial balance and once again total it and find out the differences in the trial balance, both the column. You divide that difference by 2 and see that any exact amount remains there. Exact amount which you found out by dividing the difference is lying somewhere. You take that value. If it is found out, you can correct that way. If not possible, then divide that difference by 9. If it is easily divisible, then it may be an error of transposition or transplacement error. The transposition error means instead of writing 564, it is written 465. So like that, the place of the digit, place of the value may be changed. So if such a kind of cases, if that difference is divisible easily by 9, then we can trace out that this is a type of transposition or transplacement error. Even after that the error could not be located, then again go back to the bank account, cash account, purchases account, sales account, and such a kind of major account has to be verified once again whether its balance brought down is taken correctly or not. See the opening balance entered in the trial balance. Opening balance is the value which is drawn from the closing balance of the previous year. So it might have wrongly entered here in the books of account. So please go back to the opening balance entered. Even after that, if the difference is too large, then have a comparison with the previous year value and present year value, so that you will be able to locate that error. Even after doing all these steps, the errors could not be found out or located, then go back once again to the subsidiary book. In the sense that start verifying with each vouchers and see that whether the proper entry is made for each transaction in the subsidiary journal or in the general journal with respect to such kind of transaction. And then check the posting which made based on the journal entry which you have passed, whether it is correct or not. Then recheck the balance extracted from each ledger. Again, once again, total it, balance it, and see that the balance brought down taken from the ledger to the trial balance is correct or not. Recast all the ledger account and once again arrive the balance and the balance brought down, and see that the same value is taken to the trial balance. Even after that, if all the efforts fails, then open a suspense account. Suspense account is nothing but an account which is open to make the trial balance equal in both the column. It is a temporary account, it is an imaginary account which is prepared to equalize the trial balance. Suspense account is not a real account, it is only an imaginary account and which needs to be eliminated or removed by rectifying the error. So the rectification of errors, that we will discuss in the next video. If you have any comment, please give your comment in the comment box, and if this video is useful, please forward it across to the students. Thank you very much for watching.